If you either stand with your feet at hip width distance or base of the big toes touching, bringing your hands into Anjali Mudra prayer position. And closing your eyes. Now just lift and spread your toes. And as you do, rock your weight back towards your heels and feel like you're lengthening up through the hips, the back of the neck to the crown of the head, all the way from the grounding heels. And feel that sense of lightness and length as you lightly replace your toes back down. Actively broaden across the collarbones and release the skin of your back down towards your heels. And then find a sense of ease and softening so that you're maintaining that length, but without feeling too much tension in the body. Slight action of grounding. You're still relatively relaxed and free to expand and contract at the ribcage with your breath. Allow the skin of your face to soften, your gaze to turn inwards, and your focus to become absorbed in your breath. Those of you who like to breathe with sound, feel free to initiate breathing with sound. Whether you're breathing with sound or not, taking expansive inhales and breathing all the way to the top of the lungs underneath the collarbones. With your exhales, you might gradually and lightly begin to engage Bandha, hollowing out with the lower abdomen as the pelvic floor lifts. And drawing back at the navel towards the spine, helping to maintain that lightness and length. Feeling the sensations in the body as it moves with your breath. And keeping a light gaze, opening your eyes. Release the hands down to the sides of the body and focusing on your breathing rhythm. With the expansive inhale, expand the arms out to the side and reach the arms up. With your exhale, folding forwards, you can bend the knees until you get a little bit warmer, crown of the head towards the floor. Inhaling to half forward bend with the hands on the shins, flat back. Exhaling, full forward fold, releasing the top of your head there. Inhaling, rise to standing, reach the middle fingertips for the ceiling. Exhaling, float the arms down alongside the body, use the whole breath. Inhaling, raising the arms up. Exhaling, floating forwards, drawing the navel in, lengthening the top of the head towards the floor. Inhaling, half forward bend, drawing the shoulder blades back. Exhaling, full forward bend, long neck. Inhaling, rising up, grounding the feet down as you reach up. Exhaling, bringing the arms back down alongside the body. Inhaling, raising your arms up. Exhaling, floating forwards, taking the whole breath. Inhaling, slow rise to a half forward bend. Exhaling, slow float forwards again, full forward bend. Inhaling, more power as you rise up and reach up. Exhaling, maintaining length through the crown of the head as you bring the arms down. Last time, half salutation, inhaling the arms up. Exhaling, folding forwards, lift the sitting bones, reach the top of the head down. Inhaling, half forward bend. Exhaling, full forward bend. Inhaling, rising to standing, middle fingertips reach. Exhaling, feet grounding, crown of the head rising, arms coming down. Adding some lunges, keeping breathing rhythm, inhaling the arms up. Exhaling, folding, full forward fold. Inhaling, half forward fold on fingertips or hands to shins. Exhaling, stepping back, downward dog. Inhaling, lift your right leg back high behind you. Exhaling, float it through on the breath to lunge. Inhaling, ground through the back foot, reach the middle fingertips high. Exhaling, back to the hands, back to downward dog. Inhaling, left leg lifting high behind you. Exhaling, floating it through to lunge position. Inhaling, rising with the breath, reach the fingertips up. Exhaling, back to downward dog. Inhaling, rock forwards to plank. Exhaling through chaturanga all the way to the belly, point the toes back. Low cobra, inhaling, grip the fingertips in. Exhaling, chin to the floor. Inhaling, low cobra, grip the fingertips, pull the hands back. Exhaling, chin to the floor. Hands back closer to the waist, push forwards and inhale to upward dog. Exhale over the toes, downward dog and breathe. Now experiment with your grounding action and the connection of the pads of the fingers, the mound of the thumb, and push the front of the mat away, lengthen through the sides of the body to the hips. As you ground the feet, feel like you're pulling the balls of the feet towards the back of the mat, extend the heels down. And find your breathing rhythm, deep full inhales, expanding the side ribs. Exhales, engaging bandha, sitting bones lift. Looking forwards between your thumbs with an inhale breath, step or jump, half forward bend. Exhaling, bringing ribcage close to the thighs, reach the top of the head there. Inhaling, rising to standing, reach middle fingertips, ground through the heels. Exhaling, arms back down alongside the body. Same pattern again. Inhaling, raising the arms up. Exhaling, folding forwards, lift your sitting bones, reach the top of the head there. Inhale, half forward bend, draw your shoulder blades back. Exhaling, stepping back to downward dog. Inhaling, right leg lifting high. Exhaling, gracefully through to lunge. Inhaling, front knee stays low, reach the arms up. Exhaling, back to downward dog. Inhaling, left leg lifts. Exhaling, gracefully through to lunge. Inhaling, raising the arms, keep the front knee bent low. Exhaling, back to downward dog. Inhaling, rocking forwards to plank. Exhaling through chaturanga onto the belly, point the toes back, low cobra. Inhaling, gripping the fingertips in, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhaling, chin down. Inhaling, low cobra, lift and broaden across the collarbones. Exhaling, chin down. Hands back towards the waist, inhaling all the way to upward dog. Draw the hip bones forwards. Exhaling over the toes, downward dog. Setting the grounding action, finding equanimous action between the hands and the feet. Equanimous breath between the inhale and the exhale. Focusing on the breath, still relaxing the jaws and the skin of your face and looking down the tip of your nose towards your navel. And looking forwards between your thumbs, inhaling, stepping or jumping, half forward bend. Exhaling, full forward bend. Inhaling, rising up, grounding the feet down. Exhaling, arms alongside the body. Classic Surya Namaskar A. Inhaling, raising the arms up. Exhaling, folding, try and get the ribcage close to the thighs, lift the sitting bones. Inhaling, half forward bend. Exhaling, step or jump back to plank, then chaturanga all the belly. Inhale, draw through to upward dog, broaden the collarbones. Exhaling over the toes, downward dog, breathe. Find that breathing rhythm, keep your focus on your breath. Expansive inhale, complete exhale, engaging balance. Then looking forwards between the thumbs with an inhale, step or jump, half forward bend. Exhale, fold ribcage to thighs, reach the top of the head. Inhale, rise to standing, middle fingertips reach. Exhaling, arms controlled as they come back down alongside the body. Surya Namaskar A again. Inhaling, raising the arms up. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling, half. Exhaling, plank chaturanga. Inhaling, upward dog. Press the tops of the feet down. Exhaling, downward dog. Breathe in. Just building the rhythm of the breath so that we can keep it as the metronome of the practice as we continue to flow after these initial salutations. Looking forwards between the thumbs, inhaling, stepping or jumping. Exhaling, full forward fold. Inhaling, rise up powerfully and strong. Exhaling, arms alongside the body. Classic Surya Namaskar B, sitting into Utkatasana. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, fold the ribcage close to the thighs and then try and straighten the legs as you reach the crown down. Inhale to half forward bend. Exhale, step or jump back, plank chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale to downward dog, turn the left heel to the midline, step the right foot forwards. Inhale, warrior one, right side. Exhale, hands to the floor, plank chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog, right heel to the midline, left foot forwards. Inhale, warrior one, left side. Exhale, plank chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog, breathe. Surya Namaskar B, feel a little bit more action with each half of the breath. Tends to mean it takes a little bit more stamina. Just coming back to that equanimous breathing rhythm whenever you can. And looking forwards between the thumbs, inhaling, step or jump, half forward bend. Exhaling, ribcage to thighs. If you've got straight legs, lift the quadriceps. Inhaling, sitting into Utkatasana, raising your arms up. Exhaling, back to standing. Same thing again, one more time. Inhaling, sit low, raise your arms high. Exhaling, ribcage fold to the thighs, lift the sitting bones, try and straighten the legs. Inhale to half forward bend. Exhale, step or jump out, plank chaturanga. Inhale onto the tops of the feet upward. Exhale, back to downward, left heel in, right foot forwards. Inhale, warrior one, right side. Exhale, plank chaturanga. Inhale, tops of the feet press down, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog, right heel in, left foot forwards. Inhale, warrior one, left side. Exhale, plank chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog and breathe. And just exploring the grounding action of hands and feet together with the breath. Really activating more with that grounding on your exhale. And looking forwards between the thumbs of an inhale, step or jump, half forward bend. Exhale, full forward bend. Sitting into Utkatasana, inhale, raise your arms up and then hold it there. If you can, try and bring your palms together. And as you bring the palms together, squeeze the palms. Try lifting your toes, squeeze your inner thighs and see if you can sit down lower and reach your arms up a little bit higher. Take another inhale and then exhale, hands into prayer, still staying in your chair. Another inhale there, then exhale, come all the way down to squat and straight to Navasana. Bent knees, taking the right arm to the outside of the left leg, take your left arm out to the side, take a deep inhale breath, and then exhale, extend the right leg, flex your toes back, press the right arm against the outside of your left leg. Bring that right knee in, swap straight to the other side, left arm to the outside of the right leg, right arm out to the side, deep inhale breath, then exhale, left leg extends, heel hovers off the floor. Take another breath and bring that knee in, separate the knees, bring the arms in between the legs. Take another inhale as you exhale, squeeze the knees in. And coming down to the floor, shoot your legs out, coming to Upavishta Konasana. Extend the heels away, flex the toes back. Bring your feet in, bring them to Baddha Konasana. And bring it back to your bent knee, knees out, Navasana. Bring the knees together. Bring the right arm back to the outside of the left leg, left arm out to the side. Extend that right leg out. Bring it back in, over to the other side, right arm out, left arm engaged, extend the left leg out. Bring it back in, knees out to the side, squeeze the knees in onto the arms, and then Upavishta Konasana. Take a breath there, extend the heels away, press the inner thighs down. Then Baddha Konasana. And bring it back up, bent knees out to the side, so we're in a seated crow, squeezing the knees in onto the arms. Take it back so that you've got the knees together, and then extend the legs with the toes as high as the nose. Bring the knees back in. Take the toes back out. Bring the knees back in. Take the toes back out. Bring the knees back in and then cross your legs, rock forward, step back into a plank and hold. Pressing the floor away. Deep inhale breath. Then with your exhale breath, all the way down onto the belly, hands alongside the lower ribs, toes point back, high cobra. Inhale, press the hands forward, squeeze the elbows in. Exhale, slowly bring the chin back down to the floor. Inhale, press the hands forward, squeeze the elbows in. Exhale, bring the chin back down to the floor. Hands back slightly again. Inhale all the way to upward dog. Exhale over your toes into downward dog and inhale your right leg in the air behind you. Exhale, rock forwards to plank with the leg lifted. Bend the knee, bring it to your upper right arm. Squeeze the heel up towards your buttock. And then flick that right foot forwards between your hands. Bring the left heel to the floor, feet set up for warrior two. And swing your outer right hip back towards the midline of the mat. Reach your left arm forwards, raise the fingertips to the ceiling, And then rise up into warrior two. Reset your feet. Lift the toes, lift the insteps. Press into the outer edge of the left foot and then bend the front knee low. Feel like you're lifting your hip points and then bring the toes to the floor. Keep the life in the legs. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, right middle fingertip down towards the floor inside the heel. Left fingertips to the ceiling in half side angle. Press the right arm against the right leg. Press the right leg against the right arm. Try and open your chest towards the ceiling a little bit more. Keep the front knee bent low and inhale back to warrior two. Exhale back down, half Parshvanasana side angle. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, bring it down again. And then sweep the left arm forwards over your ear. Keep pressing into the outer edge of the left foot. Reach the left fingertips away from the heel as much as possible. And inhale back to warrior two. Straighten your front leg and exhale into Trikonasana. So right hand to the outside of your right leg, either on the leg itself or on the floor. Keep stacking the shoulder blades. Engage your front quadriceps, so front thigh muscles. Feel like you're drawing those back. One more inhale breath. And as you exhale, rebend the front knee, bring the left hand to the floor and step back into downward dog. Inhale, left leg in the air. Exhale, rock forwards to plank with the leg lifted. Inhale, pushing the floor away. Exhale, bring the left knee to the upper left arm. Keep pushing the floor away, couple more breaths. And then exhale and flip that foot forwards. Right heel to the floor, right toes to the side. Reach your right arm forwards. Draw a circle to the ceiling and then lift yourself up into warrior two. Good. Reset the feet, get the feet active. Lift the toes to give the legs some life. Lift the insteps. Press into the outer edge of the right foot strongly. Bend your left knee low. Lift your hip points, then bring the toes down. Keep the liveliness in your legs. Inhale and open the chest. Exhale to half Parshvanasana that side. So right middle fingertips to the ceiling. Activate the arm against the leg and the leg against the arm. Try and turn the chest open a little bit more. And inhale back to warrior two. Exhale back into that position. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale back to that position and then bring the right arm forwards over the ear. Keep the front knee bent low. Keep pressing the left arm against the left leg. Try and turn the chest. Keep grounding the outer edge of your right foot. And inhale back to warrior two. Straighten your front leg and exhale to Trikonasana triangle. And keep pressing into the outer edge of your right foot. Feel like you're trying to suck the front of your left thigh bone back into the hip socket. One more inhale, open the chest. And exhale, bend the front knee, hand to the floor, step back to downward dog. With your inhale, rock forwards to plank. Exhale, all the way to the belly, point the toes back. Take the hands to the side, palms to the floor. Press into the tops of the feet, the pubic bone, take an inhale breath and lift up. So you're in locust with the hands there. Keep pressing into the tops of the feet, engage your legs. Feel like you're pulling your pubic bone forwards. As you exhale, engage bandha, and you might consider cinching in the side waist. And don't be lazy with your hands. So keep pressing the hands down into the floor. Take one more inhale and exhale, chin down, hands alongside the waist. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale to downward dog. Inhale, right leg in the air. Exhale, rock forwards to plank with the leg lifted. Inhale, stretch the toes for the back wall. Exhale, bring the right knee towards the upper right arm. Hold it there for a couple of breaths. Keep pressing the ball of the left foot into the floor. And then flip that right foot forwards between your hands and turn that left foot back into warrior two position. Swing your outer right hip towards the midline. Reach your left arm forwards. Draw an arc up to the ceiling and come back into warrior two. Set your feet. Inhale, open the chest, then exhale, right hand to the floor inside that right foot again. Either bring your left arm forwards over your ear, or take the left hand down your back, the right hand under the leg, and bind. So if you're binding, press the hands into the outer right hip, try and turn the chest open towards the ceiling. Keep that engagement in the outer edge of the left foot. And if you're binding, release the bind. You've got the arm forwards over the ear and just bring it back to the hip. So everybody bring it back to the hip and hop the back foot into a lunge. Reach your right hand forwards and hop that left leg up in the air, Ardha Chandrasana. So you're reaching the right hand in front of the right foot. Raise your left arm up when you're ready. Keep opening the chest out towards the left side of the room. Engage the quadriceps on your right leg. Extend the heel of the left leg away. Try and get the legs firm. Then bending your front knee, guiding that back foot back. Gracefully bring yourself back into Warrior Two. Inhale, breath in Warrior Two. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back to Downward Dog. Inhale, left leg in the air. Exhale, rock forwards to plank. Inhale, stretch the toes for the back wall. Exhale, bring the knee to the upper left arm. Keep pressing the floor away. Keep breathing. And with an exhale breath, flip that left foot forwards between your hands. Bring the right heel to the floor, toes to the side. Swing that outer left hip in. Reach the right arm forwards and up and bring yourself to Warrior Two. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, left hand down to the floor or as close as it can go with the shoulders set. Bring the right arm forwards over the ear or take it down the back, left arm underneath the leg and take the bind. If you're taking the bind, they're trying to turn the chest and stack the shoulder blades so that knee, hip, thigh, shoulder blades, all one line. And if you have the bind, release it. In the hand to the hip, left hand steadies you on the floor, hop that right foot in a bit, reach the left hand forwards, hop the right leg up, turn the toes to the side. Once you feel stable, right arm up. Work on your standing leg. Engage those left leg quadriceps, and then work on your lifted leg. Extend the heel away, flex the toes back, firm the muscles around the leg. One more inhale, try and turn the chest open a little bit more. And then thigh, rib cage connected. Reach the right foot back. Inhale in Warrior Two. Exhale, hands to the floor, back to Downward Dog. With your inhale, rock forwards to plank. Exhale, come all the way down onto your belly. Bring the elbows forwards, being Sphinx. Find your breath. Now press into the tops of your feet. Pull the elbows towards the back of the mat. Feel like you're pulling the lower breastbone forwards. Still engaging with your breath. Expansive inhales as you exhale. Engage Bandha. I feel like you're pressing your pubic bone down towards the floor as you cinch the side waist in. And with an exhale, tuck your toes under and convert it to a forearm plank. Take an inhale in forearm plank. Exhale back onto the belly for Sphinx. Inhale in Sphinx, make it active. Exhale, toes under, forearm plank. Inhale in forearm plank. Exhale, back to Sphinx. Inhale in Sphinx. Exhale, forearm plank. Inhale, forearm plank. Exhale, Sphinx. Take an inhale in Sphinx. Then exhale, chin to the floor, hands alongside the lower ribs. Inhale all the way to Upward Dog. Exhaling over the toes into Downward Dog and find your breath. Release the back of the neck, look down the tip of the nose towards your navel. Push forwards through the hands, pull back with the feet. Then looking forwards between your thumbs with an inhale breath, step or jump, half forward bend. Exhale and fold, rib cage close to the thighs, reach the top of the head down. Sitting into Utkatasana chair pose. Inhale, raise your arms up and hold. And then taking the arms down behind the back, interlace your fingers, extend the knuckles down behind you. Broaden across the collarbones, squeeze your inner thighs towards each other and see if you can sit down lower, but keep lifting the chest, so keep extending those knuckles away. Breathe all the way up underneath the collarbones. And fold lower over the thighs, taking your sitting bones back. So as you do, see if you can lift the hands a little bit away from the body. Keep lifting the front heads of the shoulders back. Reach the crown of the head for the wall in front of you. Then release the arms and bring them straight forwards. Pointing the fingertips towards the front of the room. Keep squeezing your inner thighs. Then bring your hands all the way to the floor. You can hop the feet out to hip width distance. Hands a little bit in front of the toes. Look forwards. We're going into a crow. Grip your fingertips in. Bend the elbows back. Get those knees either up on the outside of the arms or onto the top of the arms. Lean forwards. Lift the feet. So keep looking forwards. Keep pulling the elbows back. Squeezing the inner thighs in. Engaging the abdomen. Steady breath. And then jump back to plank. Take an inhale in plank. And then exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, tops of the feet, upward dog. Exhale, over the toes, downward dog. Inhale, your right leg in the air behind you. Exhale, bring it through to a lunge. Framing the foot, fingertips to the floor. Straighten the front leg, lay the rib cage over the thighs. So your back foot is in a lunge position at the moment, not in Warrior One or Parsvottanasana foot position. If you need blocks or books or anything under your hands to straighten the leg, feel free to take a moment to grab them. Push forwards through the front heel. Feel like you're drawing the quadriceps up and back, drawing that right thigh bone back into the hip socket. Lay the rib cage over the leg as much as you can. Forehead to the shin if you can get it there. Keep thinking about pulling that right thigh bone back. And bend the front knee slightly, looking back to your left foot. Hop the left foot slightly forwards. Turn the heel to the floor at the midline of the mat. So left toes are pointing towards the front left corner of the mat. And then re-straighten that front leg. Drawing up on the right quadriceps, feeling like you're drawing that right hip bone back. Pressing into the back foot. Move the left hand over to the inside of your right foot and lays the right hand to the ceiling. So revolved triangle pose from Parsvottanasana. Keep pulling that right thigh bone back into the hip socket. Trying to turn the left hip bone forwards. Engage the left fingertips or hand in the floor to help turn the chest. And bring that right hand back to the floor. Re-bend your front knee. Reach the hands forwards in front of you and pop that left leg up in the air. All right. Hands are probably 1.5 foot in front of your toes for now. Engage your standing leg quadriceps, stacking the sitting bone directly over the heel. Turn your left toes down towards the floor and stretch the heel for the back wall. And those of you who can keep a straight standing leg, bring the hands to the floor, further back to the foot and reach that left leg higher. Feel free to go further into the split, but keep working the quadriceps on your standing leg. And walk both hands back forwards again. And keeping your left hand to the floor. Raise the right arm up, turning the chest. So you're in revolved Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Bring that hand back down to the floor. Bend your right knee. Reach the left foot back behind you into lunge, and inhale, raise your arms over your head. Exhale, hands to the floor, back to plank, chaturanga. Inhale, tops of the feet, upward dog. Exhale, over the toes, downward dog. Inhale, left leg in the air. Exhale, bring it forwards to lunge, then up onto the fingertips. Framing the foot, straighten that front leg. So back foot is in lunge at the moment. Engage your quadriceps on that left leg. Feel like you're drawing that thigh bone back and then folding forwards over the leg, bringing the forehead towards the shin. And if you're nowhere near the shin, or you have to hunch the shoulders a lot, think more about lifting the chest and bringing the torso parallel to the floor. And then bending the front knee slightly, pop that right foot forwards, send the right heel to the floor, and re-straighten the front leg. So right toes are facing towards the front right corner of the mat. Now pressing into the outer edge of that heel, and it's almost like you're trying to bring your right big toe to the left side of the mat. You're actually moving it. Keep engaging that front leg, and bring your right hand over to the inside of that left foot and raise your left arm up. Left arm hand can come to the hip rather than fingertips to the ceiling if that feels better. Keep working on the leg action. Quadriceps, front thigh muscles on that left leg engaging, drawing the left hip back as you turn the right hip forwards and using the right hand to turn the chest. And bring that hand back down to the floor. Bend your front knee. Reach the hands in front of you. Hop the right leg into the air. First of all, working on the left standing leg. Engage those left quadriceps. Feel like you're really lifting. Extend the right heel back towards the back wall. And then if it feels good to do so, lift the right leg higher. Walk the hands further towards the foot. And take yourself into a deeper split. If you're going into a deeper split, keep working the standing leg action, quadricep engagement, sitting bones a little. Then walking your hands back forwards so that the torso is long. Right hand stays to the floor, left hand's reaching up, chest is turning towards the left side of the mat. Keep working the action on the lifted leg, really extend it for the back wall. And bring your hands back down to the floor, bending your front knee, reach the right foot back behind you, coming into lunge. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, hands to the floor, back to plank, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg in the air behind you. Exhale, bring it through to lunge. The left hand stays on the floor. Reach your right arm up. Pressing back through the ball of your left foot. Keeping the front knee bent low. Lift up the left arm. Stretch the right arm back in your twisted lunge position. Keep bending the front knee low. Pressing into the ball of the back foot. Really reach back with an inhale breath. And then keeping the twist, exhale, hands in prayer. Inhale, lift the chest again. Exhale, left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Press the palms together. Try and stack the shoulder blades. As you turn the chest, keep squeezing the outer right hip in towards the midline of the mat. And inhale, back into twisted lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor and back to downward dog. Inhale, left leg in the air. Exhale, bring it through to lunge. Keeping the right hand grounded, raise the left arm up. Keep pressing into the ball of your right foot. Squeeze the outer left hip back towards the midline of the mat. And then inhale and lift up, twisted lunge. Right arm's reaching forwards, left arm's reaching back. One more inhale breath. Exhale, keeping the twist, hands in prayer. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, right elbow to the outside of the left thigh, turn. Now keep squeezing that outer left hip in. Now you can get more engagement of the arm against the leg. Think about bringing the thumbs back to the center of the chest, stacking the shoulder blades on top of each other. One more inhale, one more exhale. And inhale, lift back up, twisted lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back to downward dog. Holding it in downward dog for a moment. Taking a few breaths. Press the front of the mat away, lift the sitting bones high. Ground through the balls of the feet. Extend your heels back towards the back of the mat. And staying strongly grounded through your right hand, lift the left hand and take it to the outside of the right leg. Now see if you can slide that left hand down the outside of the right leg as low as it'll go. Look underneath your right armpit out to that side and really engage the hand on the leg wherever it is. So you're pulling on the leg to turn yourself into that twist. Release the left hand and swap to the other side. Right hand taking the outside of the left leg and ground both feet equally, strong through the left arm. Turn, look underneath that left armpit. Good. And release that hand, come back to full downward dog. Take a deep inhale breath. Exhale, ground the feet, then looking forwards between the thumbs with an inhale, step or jump, half forward bend. Exhale, fold the rib cage to the thighs, reach the top of the head down. Inhale with straight legs raised to standing, arms reaching up. And exhale, bring the hands into prayer in front of the chest. Inhale and lift the right knee up in front of the hip. Engage your standing leg, grow tall through the crown of the head. And slowly and deliberately reach that right leg behind you and come into warrior three position. I really reach the foot back, keep the collarbones broad, engage your standing leg again, and try and reach that right heel up for the ceiling. Then steadily bringing it back forwards, right knee in front of the hip, take a couple of breaths there, and then take it back again. Really work the quadriceps on your standing leg, really work the reach on your lifted leg, so press away through the heel. Feel like you're stretching the leg back as well as lifting it up. And then come back forwards again, knee in front of the hip, take a breath. And foot to the floor, and without thinking about it too much, straight to the other side, left knee lifts. Lift and expand your chest, grow tall. And reach that left leg back behind you and come into your warrior three. So keep working on the standing leg. Engage the quadriceps. Work on the reach of your lifted leg, yeah. And bringing it back forwards, knee upon front of the hip, take a breath there. And reach it back behind you again. So go slow motion. And use that lifting leg to tip your torso forwards. And keep working on the standing leg engagement. Squeeze the muscles around the bones of that standing leg. Left leg, reach it. Really reach it for that back wall. Good. And then bringing it back forward steadily. Once the knees in front of the hip. Take a couple of breaths. And then bring that back into Tadasana. Inhale, lift and broaden the chest. Exhale, sit back down into chair. Inhale, take your arms out to the side. Exhale, bring the right elbow underneath the left and wrap the arms. Inhale, lift the chest again, lift the elbows. Lift the right leg over the left leg and wrap, eagle pose. If you can get the foot behind the calf, no excuse, sit down really low. Low, 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 even lower. If you've got the calves against each other, squeeze them in. So wherever you are, squeeze that right thigh onto the left thigh, draw everything into the midline. Use your bandhas when you exhale. And broaden your upper back as you pull the arms away from each other when you inhale. And with an inhale breath, unwrap everything, stay in your chair. Exhale, left elbow underneath right elbow and wrap. Left leg over the right one and wrap. So if you've got the foot behind the calf, Really point your toes down towards the floor, and as you squeeze everything into the middle, sit down lower, so hips are sitting backwards. Challenge yourself with how low you can go. So as you engage that wrapped leg shin against the back of the other leg calf, it should help stabilize you in position. Experiment. Don't be afraid to fall out. And with an inhale breath, unwrap. Take your arms out to the side. As you exhale, come back into your chair. Inhale, lift the chest with your hands in prayer. Exhale, sit down through your squat and come into bent knee Navasana. Bring the knees onto the upper arms, squeeze the knees in, and then keep the right knee squeezing in. Extend the left leg forwards. Hold it for a couple of breaths. And squeeze the knees, both knees back in onto the arms, and release the right leg, extend the right leg forwards. Keep squeezing the left knee in. And bring it back in, squeeze both knees onto the arms, and knees together, and extend the legs, much as you can, toes in line with the nose. Keep squeezing the legs towards each other, knees back in, toes away. Knees back in, squeeze them together. Toes away, knees back in, and then crossing the legs forwards and step it back into a plank. Over onto the outer edge of your right foot. Raise your left arm up, and then as you ground through the outer edge of the right foot, raise the left leg up. Now see if you can lift that left leg higher. Keep pressing strongly through the right hand, try and stack the shoulder blades. And rolling forward, swap it to the other side. Outer edge of the left foot, right arm lifts, right leg lifts. So you're pressing away through the outer edge of your left foot. Try and lift that right leg as high as you can. And then bring that hand to the floor and back into a plank. From your plank, rock back to downward dog. And looking forwards between your thumbs. Pressing forwards through the pads of the fingers, spiraling the right hand slightly clockwise, left hand slightly anti-clockwise. Bend both elbows halfway to the floor. So feel like you're squeezing the elbows towards each other, pushing the hands forwards. Then straighten the arms, rebend the elbows halfway to the floor. Straighten the arms. Rebend the elbows halfway to the floor. Keep that feeling of turning the right hand clockwise, left hand anti-clockwise, push forwards through the hands, and land both elbows on the floor at the same time. If the elbows have landed wider than the shoulders, walk them back into shoulder width distance, and press forwards through the elbows, and feel like you're taking the chest back towards the back of the mat, so you're not moving your feet for now. Getting some shoulder mobilization as you push forwards through the elbows and take the chest back towards the back of the mat. Need a steady breath. And then come down to your knees and interlace your fingers. Tuck your bottom little finger behind the other little finger and bring the forearms back down to the floor. Pressing down from the wrist to the elbow. Lift the sitting bones, lift the knees. Keep pressing forwards through the forearm, ground all the way to the outer wrist, and then start to walk the feet in towards the face until the shoulders are stacked vertically over your elbows. Then raise your right leg up in the air. Reach the right toes for the ceiling and hop that left foot off the floor as high as you want to go. Forearm balance or just taking a hop. And keep that grounding action with the forearms. Really reach up with the right foot. Try and let the left leg rise lightly. Good. Then come down to your knees when you've had enough. Take a couple of breaths before going back up again. Challenge yourself on how close you can get the feet. So you might get them a little bit closer. And then reach your left leg up in the air. Good. I feel like you're trying to draw the right thigh back towards the rib cage. So this is a little bit like a standing split. So the closer the standing leg and the rib cage are, the more the top leg can reach. So it is just a standing split. There's just an extra complication of trying to lift up and go upside down. All right, when you've had enough, come down, and then bringing the toes together, knees to mat width distance, child's pose. And for the forearm balance, and for headstand, numerous different things. One of the key components is the length through the back of the legs and the lower back. Forward bending, all of those actions, some of the kind of things like Parsvottanasana that we've done tonight, the triangle poses, etc. We're all trying to get the length into the legs. That helps with the inversions. A lot of inversions are basically forward bends. Just with your feet not on the floor. Then rocking forwards up to all fours. Bringing the knees into hip width distance, tuck your toes under and take yourself back into downward dog. Absorbing yourself in your breathing for a moment. Inhale, raise the right leg in the air behind you. Exhale, bring it forwards to lunge. And straightening the front leg, take a turn for wide-legged forward bend position. So you're facing out towards the long side of the mat. Toes are facing that way, outside edges of the feet, parallel to the ends of the mat, palms down on the floor, straight arms. And get that slight feeling of right clockwise turn in the right hand, anti-clockwise turn in the left hand. Press the floor away as you make that action. And pressing into the outer edges of the feet, engage your quadriceps, lift the sitting bones, and now start to fold head down to the floor, walking the hands back, as long as the palms stay grounded. As you do, keep the elbows in at shoulder width distance, hands in at shoulder width distance, and keep pressing into the floor. This slight feeling of spiraling the right hand clockwise, the left hand anti-clockwise. Reach the top of the head for the floor, engage your quadriceps. And you want to feel like you're lifting your sit bones, lifting your quadriceps, and trying to get your lowest rib to lay down on top of that thigh. So yeah, if you're pulling on your toes and you try too hard, that tends to end up in a forward roll. Those of you who have got your head on the floor, feel free to go up into a headstand if you want to give it a go. If you need to make some adjustments to go into a tripod headstand and you want to do that, such as bending your knees, then you can also do that. So by bending your knees, you would have to come back down to the floor, heads on the floor, tripod position, knees knees hop up and then come onto the back of the arms. It's basically a head down crow pose. You can practice that as your tripod headstand. Those of you who have now been in the forward fold for about 5 minutes, walk your hands back forwards, going into the original position, straighten the arms, activate the legs for a moment, and turn your toes out towards the sides of the corners of the mat, 45 degrees. Bending your right knee, walk your hands over to the inside of that right foot and turn onto the back of your left heel. Toes are facing the ceiling, Skandasana position. Right bent knee, right arms at the inside of your leg. Left heels on the floor, left toes turned towards the ceiling. And you're pressing into that left heel and pulling the left heel back towards the right. You can either bring the hands into prayer position if you lift the hands, turning the chest towards the ceiling, or you can take the bind. Right hand hooks round the leg, left hand hooks round the back. So Liz S, if you find this really difficult, You can get the same stretch in the back of the leg by sitting down on the floor. So it's almost like a Marichasana position, but you've taken the foot out to the side and turned the foot out. So you can sit down on the floor and get the stretch in the back of the leg that way, arm on the inside of the right bent leg, toes turned out to the side. Then everybody walking it over in the other direction, bending your left knee onto the back of the right heel, toes towards the ceiling, press into the back of the right heel, pull the heel back towards the back of the mat. Now, if you feel like you have to support your body weight, you can always keep your hands on the floor. Otherwise, hands come into prayer position or into the band. But keep engaging the right heel into the floor and pulling it over towards the left side of the mat. And rock it back up to the center and turning the feet into wide leg forward bend. Grab the big toes with the first finger and the second finger. Clamp the fingers to the floor and straighten your arms, draw the chest forwards. Now engage your quadriceps, thigh muscles. Keep them engaged as you bend the elbows and draw the top of your head down towards the floor. Broaden the shoulder blades, draw the shoulder blades down the back. And engage bandhas as you exhale. So lift the sitting bones and draw the navel in. Then straightening the arms with an inhale breath, lift the chest. And then release the toes and turn back forwards to the front of the mat. Step back into downward dog. With an inhale, rock forwards to plank. Exhale, come all the way down to the belly, point the toes back. Interlace the fingers behind you. Stretch the knuckles back, lift the front heads of the shoulders, the chest, chin. Deep inhale breath, open across the collarbones. Then lift the feet up and point the toes back. And you're pressing the pubic bone into the floor, trying to lift higher at both ends, really stretching the toes to the back wall and reaching the knuckles back. One more inhale breath, then exhale, release the hands alongside the lower ribs. Inhale all the way to upward dog. Exhale, over the toes into downward dog. Couple of breaths. And looking forwards between the thumbs with an inhale breath. Jump forwards. Exhale, fold the ribcage close to the thighs and try and lift your quadriceps. Inhale, rise all the way to standing. Reach your arms up over your head. Exhale, hands back down through prayer. Bringing the hands onto the hips, lift your right knee up. First two fingers between big toe and second toe, or hand onto the front of the shin. Engage your standing leg, work those quadriceps, grow tall, and keep that height as you extend the right leg forwards. Think more about the lift in the chest and the work on the standing leg than what's going on with the lifted leg. But do press the big toe into the fingers as you draw the shoulder blade back and take the right leg out to the right side. Now keep working on the breadth of the chest, your vertical line all the way from the left heel to the crown of the head. And bring that leg back to the center. Keeping the leg lifted, hands to the hips. Keep working the standing leg again. So drive that standing leg heel into the floor. And then bring the right foot to the floor, lower it down so that it hovers. Sweep it out to the right side, bring it back in behind you, and take it once more into Warrior 3. Once you're in Warrior 3, you can do with the arms as you like. So you could reach them out like airplane wings, you could take them forwards like Superman, you could bring them to your hips and keep them there. And then bring that back to standing, take a moment. Tadasana, reaching the crown of the head for the ceiling, and right hand on the hip, first left, first two fingers between big toe and second toe. Work on that vertical line first. Work the standing leg quadriceps. Broaden the collarbones. Keep that line as you kick the foot forwards. And take your leg out to the side. And lifting and broadening the chest, kicking the toe into the fingers, but drawing back firmly from the shoulder. And bring it back to the center. Leave the leg lifted. This is where the real work comes in for the standing leg. I'm not saying the lifted leg doesn't have to do any work, so the hip flexors are working like crazy. The standing leg is pretty much engaged front and back, buttock muscles, everything. And then lower the leg slightly, sweep it out to the side, swing it back in behind you and take it back into Warrior 3. Once you're in Warrior 3, reach with that lifted leg, and then do with the arms as you will. I'm just watching you all at the moment. Balancing on one side and speaking is enough. Alright, so, although it keeps your concentration when you're talking, and then bring it back up to standing. Bring your hands into prayer position in front of the chest, and for a moment into Tadasana, closing your eyes. And just feel the sensations of equilibrium returning. Maybe a slight rocking from one foot to the other, a slight swaying as everything adjusts itself back to 2-foot balance. And opening your eyes, keep a steady gaze, keep a steady breath, and lift your right knee back up again. And once it's there, reach forwards over the leg and coax the foot into your hands. Interlace the fingers around the bottom of the foot or get a good grip. Once you've actually got that grip, firm up through your standing leg again. Work the standing leg, grow tall, and then start to extend that right heel forwards. So as you do, keep the heel above sit bone level. So it can extend upwards or directly forwards as long as it's above sit bone level. Keep working the standing leg. Good. So some of you are going right up into a split in that position. And release it back down to the floor. Take a breath and then go for the other side. So left knee lifting. Grabbing hold of the foot, interlacing your fingers. You might have to take some time to adjust into that position and coax it into the hand. And grow tall and extend away. So as you grow taller, the foot will firm into the hand, so the hands are going to get active. You're getting active all the way from the shoulder blades. So get active with that foot. Keep kicking, keep the heel upwards rather than downwards. Good. And then release that. And bring the foot down to the floor. Okay. One more one-legged balance-ish. So lift that right leg up again, and this time left hand reaches down either to the outside of the foot or the inside of the foot. Grow tall again, start to reach the right arm back behind you and extend that right leg forwards. So we're in a standing twist or a revolved triangle pose. We've been here already tonight, we just have both feet on the floor. And then releasing it, bringing that right foot down, readjust for a moment, and lift the left leg up. Grab it, grab the left foot with the right hand, either inside or outside. Start to reach the left arm back behind you, left arm forwards. You're in twisted triangle pose, just standing on one foot. I always think it feels much more stable when you're doing it stood on one foot than it does when you're stood on two. It looks like you all agree with me. And then bringing it down, hands into prayer position, back into Tadasana without closing your eyes. Just firm through the feet, lift the crown of the head towards the ceiling. And then feet in whatever position you like. Inhale, raise your arms over your head. Exhale, fold forwards, fold forward, fold. Inhale, rise onto the fingertips, half fold, fold. Exhale, step or jump back into plank and hold. Coming onto the outer edge of your right foot, bring your left hand to your hip. And slide the left toes up the inside of your right leg. First two fingers between big toe and second toe on that left leg. Lift your leg up towards the ceiling. So we've just done this as a standing balance. We're now doing it as a standing plank. Same thing, the Theta Hasta Padangusthasana, hand to big toe pose. You can keep it in a tree if you want to, or you're pressing the toes into the hand. And then release it, bring that foot down to the floor and rock it over to the other side. Practice it if you're not reaching for the toe by just sliding the toes up the leg as high as you can. Don't press the foot down onto the knee joint though. Or reaching for the big toes, trying to keep your shoulders stacked. Reach that foot up to the ceiling, keep grounding through to the outer edge of the left foot. Good. Then bring that down to the floor, hand releases to the floor. Back into plank position. Take an inhale in plank. Exhale through chaturanga onto the belly. Bring your elbows forwards into Sphinx and then take the hands out to the side of the mat. Press into the tops of your feet. Press into the outer hands and lift into seal pose. If you feel like you can take a deeper back bend, elbows come back down to the floor, hands shuffle further back towards the back of the mat. Pressing again to lift. Spiraling your biceps towards the ceiling, activate your legs. Now pressing to the tops of the feet as you exhale, draw your navel in. Even think about cinching in the side waist. Notice how that engaged core drives power out into the limbs. And bring your elbows back down to the floor, chin back down to the floor, hands alongside the lower ribs, waist. Push forwards through the hands and inhale to upward dog and hold it. Spiral the biceps forwards, draw the shoulder blades down the back, nice long neck. Press into the tops of the feet, draw the hip bones forwards. And then going through a high cobra, peel all the way back down to the floor. So elbows are in, keep it slow and controlled. Broad across the front of the shoulders, chin down to the floor. Take an inhale breath and an exhale breath. And then with your next inhale, rise to upward dog again. So if you feel like it could go deeper, hands further back towards the legs. Forwards through the hands, peel up, upward dog, pressing into the tops of the feet, drawing the hip bones forwards. Keep engaging the feet in the floor. Pressing through the mound of the thumb, projecting the crown of the head for the ceiling, and then roll over your toes into downward dog. When you're in downward dog, have a little walk. Be deliberate. Extend each heel back and down towards the floor. Deliberately, each extension. And bringing that back to stillness, back to whole downward dog. Swing both heels out to the right side of the mat. And keeping the left foot grounded, bend your right knee and take the weight out of the right foot. So press into the outer edge of your left foot. Keep your right hand grounded. Lift your left hand off the mat and reach for the outside of your right foot. And once you've got that, you can keep it there. You can bring the knee in towards the armpit, or you can bring the knee towards the armpit and then extend the leg. Drawing the elbow up towards the ceiling if you can. Lift that right foot as high as it'll go. So we've already done this on one leg, standing up. And then take it back behind you, come into downward dog again. And take both heels off to the left of the mat. Keep the right foot grounded, let the left leg loosen up, weight comes out of the foot. Keep pushing forwards through the left hand. Lift the right hand up, lift the left foot off the floor and hold on to the outside of the foot so you can keep the knee bent and bring the knee towards your armpit. Or you can do that and then extend the leg. Really lifting up towards the ceiling with your elbow, trying to turn to look underneath that armpit. And then wherever you are in the position, release the foot. Come back into downward dog for a couple of breaths. And rock forwards to plank. And lower yourself down all the way to the floor, onto your belly. Bring the arms forwards into casual Sphinx pose. So elbows are a little bit wider than the mat. Keep the left hand grounded. Bend your right knee. Reach the right hand back behind you and take hold of the outside of the foot. Then if you can, walk the hand over the top of the foot. Feel like you're pressing your right hip bone down towards the floor. And squeeze the right heel in towards the outside of your hip. Now keep pressing the right hip bone down. Breathe into the front of that shoulder. And release that side and swap to the other side. Right arm down, left leg bends, reach back behind you and walk the hand over the top of the foot if you can. Now you can hold on to the outside if the foot won't hand won't go over the top of the foot. So generally it's front of the shoulders, which I'll be feeling this if you've got the hand over the top of the foot. So it's a strong stretch into the front of the shoulder and the chest muscles, as well as through the front of the hip. Keep pressing the left hip bone down towards the floor as you squeeze the foot in. And then release it. And as you do, bring the hands to stack on top of each other. Bring your forehead down onto the hands. So take a couple of breaths in that position. Feel the back of the body expand with your inhales. Sink down with the exhale. And bring your hands alongside the lower ribs. Inhale to upward dog. Exhale to downward dog. Light lift of the right leg up behind you. And then bring the right leg forwards to pigeon position. Right knee behind the right hand. Right foot behind the left hand. You can bring that shin further forwards towards the front of the mat if you can go deeper into the pose. You'll get a more intense stretch in the hip as the foot moves forwards. But just manage that. So it can be right back to the hip, doesn't really matter. Press into the hands, spiral the biceps forwards and pretend you're in upward dog. Same position, just happens that one leg is bent. And press into the top of the back foot just to get a little bit of an active stretch through the front of that hip as you lift the knee off the floor. Bring that knee down to the floor and start to fold forwards. If you can happily come to the elbows but no further, stay on the elbows. If you can come all the way down to the forehead, come down to the forehead. Let the weight drop into the left hip. So left hip bones descending towards the floor. Feel as if when you breathe, you're using your inhale breath to spread the tissue at the outside of the right thigh, outside of the right buttock. And walking back up onto your hands. Make an active lift, broaden across the collarbones, lengthen the neck. And bend your back knee, reach your left hand back behind you and hold on to the inside of the foot. And you're holding the inside of the foot, turning the chest forwards, kick the foot back into the hand, but feel like you're drawing your left hip bone forwards. And release that. Tuck your toes under, lift yourself off. Downward dog, a little bit of a walk out in downward dog. Then lightly lifting the left leg in the air behind you and bringing it forwards, pigeon position. Adjusting that foot as far forwards as is sensible for you today. Slide your left toes back. Make the hands active as if you were in upward dog. There's broadening across the collarbones, release of the shoulder blades down the back. Press into the top of your right foot, see if you can lift the knee with the foot. And still active in your lift into the back bend. And bring that knee back down to the floor and start to fold forwards. Elbows is fine, forehead is fine. Even staying on the hands is fine if that's where you want to be. So just manage where feels good for you today. So we've not done that much opening into the air to hip previous to this. We've done a bit because we've done some twists, but we've not done all that much. So it might not be as open as it is on some days. This is one of those poses that I find changes minute by minute, hour by hour, never mind practice by practice. All right, so then walking yourself back up onto your hands and getting that lift and broadness in the chest. Bend your right knee, reach the hand back, see if you can grab from the inside. And turn the chest forwards and kick the foot back into the hands. Keep the lift in the chest, but feel like you're dropping the right hip bone down towards the floor. Kicking it back, deep full inhale breaths. And release that foot down. Bring your hands to the floor, bring the foot to the floor. See if you can walk your left knee over to the middle between your hands. So left knee is right in the center and foot's coming back to the hip. Excuse me while I keep forgetting that you are actually over here rather than over there where I can see you all. All right, so knees back to the center. Then bend your back knee and see if you can bring it in behind that knee. So hands like that forwards. Feet are going off to the sides. And rock yourself back to a seated position. So it might be that you can keep both knees stacked, or it might be that that left foot's going to come round onto the floor at the other side of that thigh. So if you've got your knees stacked, lengthen through the torso and then fold forwards over the legs. You can bring the hands in front and press the hands down into the floor. If you haven't got the knees stacked, left sole of the foot on the floor. Wrap the right elbow around that left knee and turn. Grounding the sit bones, lengthening up through the crown of the head. If you're in the twist. If you're folding forwards, feel like you're really broadening the back of your body with your breath. If you're in the twist, slowly unravel, come back to face forwards, and then just change the cross of your legs. And you can do the same thing in Gomukhasana. So coming back up from your forward fold, or simply change the cross of the legs. If you get all excited about doing the turn on the mat, then you can do that. Ground the sit bones. Those of you with the knees stacked, lengthen through the torso, fall forwards over the legs. Reach the hands forwards. Compress as if you're in downward dog when you're in the forward fold. And pressing the sit bones back towards the mat. If you've got the sole of the foot on the floor, left elbows wrapping, and you're lengthening as much as you can from the sit bones to the crown. Those of you in the twist coming back to the center. Those of you in the forward fold coming back up to sitting. Unravel your legs, bend your knees, and then just lean forwards, lengthen your ribcage over the thighs. So grab the elbows, grab the forearms. You're nice and long with the torso connected to your thighs. And then just straighten the legs as much as they'll go while you've got that connection. So it doesn't matter if the knees stay bent. You're just kind of going for a little bit of a casual forward fold. Some of you are super flexible in your forward folds. So if you are, you can weight the arms to the floor and bring your head down between your shins. Otherwise, just let the head drop forward so that the back of the neck is long. Use this moment in this forward fold to take everything back inwards. Withdrawing your senses to the inner landscape. Deeply conscious of your breath. Beginning to observe in detail the sensations of the body. Allowing yourself to simply witness the fluctuations of the mind, the emotional tone, without getting caught up in any narrative or story. And keeping it really, really slow and mindful. Start to unravel from your forward fold. Keeping a bend in the knees, just walk yourself straight back onto your elbows and then onto your back. And once you're on your back, choosing your leg position for Shavasana. So either bent knees, soles of feet on the floor, or extending your legs, heels around mat width distance. Press into the back of your head, lift your shoulder blades off the floor and draw the skin of your upper back down. Place the shoulder blades on the floor, allowing the floor to broaden the upper back. Lengthen the top of your head towards the back of the room, bring your chin slightly in. Take a deep, full inhale breath, and as you exhale, soften the whole body into the floor. Check that your jaws are relaxing away from each other. You might even wobble the jaws from side to side. Let the skin around your eyes soften, the eyeballs sink back, and your brow broaden. Become fully absorbed in your breath. Letting it flow in and out like waves. Spontaneous and soothing. Nothing to do for the next 2 minutes but breathe.